I was looking at something. Welcome to Sunday Morning with Sage. I was admiring my pictures over here on Google Photos, and then I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm live. Virginia how do you Spradlin? I've never really said your last name. Hi, Virginia. It's good to see you. Emery, welcome. I got you a little bit of funky electric music because that's how I'm feeling. Funky electric. That's about all I can. That's as good as I can explain it. Funky electric. That's me. You know, you remember a time long ago when the government sent us an email and, hey, Dale, and said, you must now all stay home and watch Tiger King. And we were so sad. Ooh, the government telling us to have to go home and watch Tiger King. Those were cute times. Weren't those cute times? I literally remember saying, like, 2020 started in advanced mode or something like that. Started, It's crazy out there. But you know what? I don't know what I've heard, that optimism is something you're born with. I think I've heard that. That you actually can't cultivate optimism. You're either an optimistic person. I mean, you can't cultivate it. No, I shouldn't say it that way. You can become optimistic, more optimistic or less optimistic, or more pessimistic or less pessimistic. But I think pessimism is something you're born with. Let me ask the Google. Are you born with optimism? Oh, it says right here, optimism is not something you're born with. Okay, what do I know? It is a learned behavior. The same is true with pessimism. When the going gets tough, affirmations fly out the door and the subconscious habits kick back in and cause you to sabotage. Okay, why we're born optimists, and that's good. All right, I don't know. Look, are we born to be optimistic? Okay, look, here's a guy, the neuroscientist. Let's see what this cat has to say. Okay, you're often heard the question, are you a half full, half empty kind of person? Turns out 80% of the world, no matter the age or ethnicity, has an optimism bias, according to Dr. Tali Sharot, a neuroscientist currently serving as a visiting professor at MIT. I wonder where that MIT is. What exactly is an optimism bias? Think of it this way. Statistics show that about 50% of couples get divorced. Wow. But most people believe their own likelihood of divorce is much lower. Here's another example. While the average person in the United States may live to be 79, people expect to be healthier and live longer than the average person. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah. People see statistics, but they don't think those figures will apply to them. Instead, they overestimate the positive and underestimate the likelihood of negative events, such as divorce, cancer, accidents, and your impending death. So why are we so optimistic? All right, turns out we're all optimists. Okay, look at there. When optimists imagine the future, you'll see much more activation in regions that are related to emotion, like the amygdala, or do you say amygdala? I say amygdala, you say amygdala, as well as regions that modulate emotional responses. The two communicate more when you're imagining more positive events. When people imagine more positive events, they imagine in more detail and more vividness, and negative events are more hazy. All right, so there you go. Look. So we're all optimists. It's good. It's good. Good for us. So I'm very optimistic in our future. In fact, I'm to the point where I'm literally saying to myself, without Donald Trump and coronavirus, we wouldn't have all been able to come together as one. Hey, Alec! And work on the really hard problems like racism and police brutality. Like, literally, those are the words that are in my head. Do you have those kind of words? It's kind of optimism I'm talking about. Like, I always see the freaking shiny side of everything. And so I do see the shiny side of the George Floyd protests. I think that's what they're going to probably be called, right? The George Floyd protests. Because it gives us an opportunity to talk as a community about important issues. Come up with maybe solutions. But then you see, here it goes. Then there's another side of me. And that side of me is like, ain't nothing going to change. Look, City of Akron said, racism is a mental health issue. Great. Is there a pill for that? Is that like, I mean, what was that? Akron racism. What did they say? Akron racism mental health. Google will know what I mean. News. Go to the news. I said news. Go, Google. What does it say here? It says over here, APD took a knee. Yes, they did, Dale. And that was thrilling, right? Here, let's look at this video. If I have to watch a 15-second commercial, we're moving on. Play the video.
These protests are a response to generations of systemic injustice. They're a response to the ongoing kind of refusal by our state representatives to rein in police violence.
Sir LeBaire is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church's Racial Justice Task Force in Akron. It's one of many organizations that supported Saturday.
Okay, this guy over here, his name is Todd. I love that guy. This right here, over here, this is Tree Hugger. And this guy's really outspoken, this guy right over here. I don't know.
Saturday's Walk for Justice. LeBaire says there is a list of demands for the city to enact change.
Things like using 25% of the police budget to go to prevention programs in the inner city rather than over-policing. Things like a community
over-policing is a phrase these days. Mental health and racism are definitely intersectional, says Emery. Oh, this is a person that is smart. Especially in the access of treatment. However, racism is not in itself a mental health issue. Also, love, sir. I don't know this human here, but I'm liking him too.
Review board that is made up of civilians from each ward that would essentially have some level of input on the discipline of rogue officers.
Love it. So a review board. Cut down on over policing and have a review board.
Police being removed from public schools, replaced with mental health trained.
Get the police out of the schools.
Community resource personnel.
Akron's protest Saturday started peaceful but turned violent into the night.
Violent is a little, I mean, look, that window could have been broken for years. We don't know. Turned violent. Literally, somebody threw a rock through a garage door window and it's like, oh, it's violent. It turned violent. Calm down,
Windows
lady.
and doors were smashed.
A couple windows and maybe a door.
At downtown businesses, Akron police tear gassed and pepper sprayed large crowds and arrested 4 people. A similar situation unfolded in Canton Friday night, but on a smaller scale.
They got tear gas down there, too.
President and CEO of the Greater Stark County Urban League, says the organization has a 10-point justice plan. The National Urban League is calling for widespread use of body and dashboard cameras, review and revision of police use of deadly force policies, and a national comprehensive
You know, I want to know Sear on more than one. I do want to know Sear because A, he sounds awesome, and B, I've been thinking about joining the Universalist Unitarian Church. It could be a twofer.
Of anti-racial profiling law.
We're not going to change racism overnight, but we can come together and begin to work to implement policies and practices that will begin that process. What are the policies and practices? Well, they vary based on the community and what the needs really are.
Both
Okay, now wait. Who is this woman?
Community.
I need to hear. I forget who she was. I need to go back because she sounds like a
What are the
politician.
policies and
What are the policies? Well, they're complicated, says this politician. Okay, oh yeah, okay. She's the president and CEO of the Greater Stark County Urban League. Okay, that's very cool. Well, they're complicated, says Diane Robinson.
overnight, but we can come together and begin to work to implement policies.
Okay, so I would like you to compare and contrast Sears. Are you? You're a part of the UUs? What? If you need information, which one, Emery? Is that the one down in Fairlawn? Honest to goodness, my wife wants to become a UU. I want to become a UU. Maybe I want to become a UU. I don't know if I don't know. It's complicated, says Diane Sears. Well, we have to begin the discussion of whether or not I become a UU. It's very complicated.
And practices that will begin that process.
But we can begin the process, says Diane
What are
Robinson.
the policies and practices? Well, they vary.
What are they? Well, they
based
vary. They're
on the
complicated.
community and what the
Oh, really? The one in Fairlawn? Ooh, that is so nice. And may I say, Emery, you have a strong homeless outreach program. You've been a member there for more than a decade. What? All right, well, let's see. Something good could come out of all this. I could end up going to the UU church down in Fairlawn.
needs really are.
both organizations say education is key. They hope
Okay, so I want you to. We had Sears' thing, and we had Diane's
civilians
thing.
will seek out resources and learn about what's happening in their communities and understand the nationwide movement that aims to end racial injustices.
Education is always critical
Yes, we can always talk more. That's always critical.
to moving forward in any possible
Yes.
way. And
Yes.
so it's the education of
Yes, she's going to go with educate. Let's educate more.
absolutely everyone, but it's
Yes,
also
absolutely
the
more
acknowledgement
education.
so we can share the information. It's what-
Yes, we could share. That's something definitely politicians can do. They can share some
whether or
information.
not people are ready to
But they might not be ready for the information. I mean, let's get real.
take that information and act
I don't
on
know if
it.
they'll take
For
it.
Spectrum News,
Who knows?
I'm Rachel Monjovi.
It's complicated. It's complicated. Okay, so we have in the beginning, Sear.
I would hope folks would realize is that these protests are a response to generations of systemic injustice. They're a response to the ongoing kind of refusal by our state representatives to rein in.
Okay, if this guy goes to the UU church and Emery goes to the UU church, it's Sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Sir. I apologize.
police violence.
Sir LeBaire is a member
Duh. She said it right there, Sir. I
of
apologize.
the Unitarian Universalist Church's
Racial Justice Task Force.
Racial Ju-
okay. Why are you not at church right now, Emery?
Justice Task Force in Akron.
We
It's
should
one
all
of many
go.
organizations that supported Saturday's
Okay.
Walk for Justice.
Okay, my point is this. We have Sir, who is giving concrete steps. Stop over policing. Get the police out of the schools. Probably, I don't know, did he say defunding? If not, he's probably for that. And then we have Diane, who's like, oh, you're at work. Oh, perfect. Good. That's good. Sticking it to the man by being with Seiji. Seiji, that's good. And then on the other end, we have Diane, who's president of the Urban League, who's basically like, well, you know, it's complicated, but we could definitely do some more education. And you see, the problem is then when you juxtapose those two humans, then Diane, is that her name? Diane is like the adult in the room, okay? And everybody's like, all right, well, okay, Jones, don't question the fight. We're the same. We just came from different places in various ways. I believe in Black Lives Matter. Yes. This is a fight to see change, says James Nolan. Yes. The fight to change the behavior of our criminal justice system who seem not to understand, yet we have all the same. Yes. That's one of the reasons, I'm just compelled by this topic. I don't know why. I can't explain it exactly. I just am, for some reason, police brutality and African American murder and injustice has always been something that gets me going. It just gets me going. But I see the same thread through the homeless population. Typically, not always, but typically, it's not the police who murder innocent homeless people. It's just civilians. Civilians murder innocent homeless people, but it comes from the same place of hatred and bigotry towards people that have been prejudged by an entire population and system. By the way, our church has a huge BLM sign. What? Get out of here. All right, Emery. I gotta go. Honey, we gotta go to the UU church. Gotta go. They got the cool people over there. All right. I just see a very common thread. And I don't know why I'm for justice and like in the press against injustice against the weakest people, but it just pisses me off. It pisses me off. I would disagree. The police are a huge okay, I'm sorry, Emery. Okay, let me say it this way. Thank you for saying that, Emery. I can say that 85%, definitely, I did a study just now, a very thorough study in my head, and I will say exactly 85% of interactions that I have seen the homeless and the police have been fairly either benign, neutral, or even positive. Okay? The police, I believe, have been trained on how to work with the homeless in Akron, and I am, for the most part, pleased. Now, there is another 15% that are total dicks. They go fuck themselves. Yes, they can. So, look, in America, we have put the police as far as, and I'm going to talk about homelessness just a second. I'm glad, CPD, right. The Cleveland, yeah, I believe it. They truly, I've not seen it personally because I'm not up at 3:00 in the morning, but I have heard from homeless people in the middle of the winter, the police coming up to a camp and in the middle of the winter asking if they're okay and giving them water. With liquid water in the winter is incredibly difficult to come by. Okay, it's all frozen, and hand warmers. So I have seen quite good things. Okay, but somehow the police have become the de facto first responders to homelessness in America. They don't need to be those people because all they can do is police things like move on. And it works great for the city because that's what the city wants. The city doesn't give a shit about homeless people. They just want them to disappear because they're bad for business. And that's all cities care about is business and money. And so it's handy when the police are put in charge of homelessness because police just do what police can do is like go away, or let me run your name and put you in jail. And then the people in charge of the city are like, hooray, eliminating homelessness. I don't give a fuck how you do it. Just fucking do it. Just get them in jail, kill them, burn them. I don't give a fuck. That's what cities say. Okay? We should not be putting our police in that position. For the police should be doing other stuff, and B, people that understand homeless people should be going out as first responders, and a homeless person should never be moved until they agree to go someplace else. And a freaking terrible shelter does not count. If you can't go with your dog, your items, your husband, your wife, your gay partner, which, may I say, is a sin in the eyes of our shelter here, gayness, then you should not have to go anywhere. We understand the need for change. Don't let the virus spread from the rallies to still. That's true. That's true. I will say, I'm guessing, again, I did a thorough study just now in my head. 97.5% people were wearing masks at the the Floyd protest. I don't think most people were wearing masks at the Ferguson protest, but I don't know. Have the homeless quit robbing our houses up here in the Heights. Okay, there we go. Let's talk, Mr. Grider Weasley James. I probably misspelled or mispronounced most of those names. I apologize. Have the homeless quit robbing our houses up here in the Heights. Okay. Now, let's break that down. Okay? You're not talking about Fairlawn Heights, are you? Firestone Heights? Which Heights? Which Heights? I want to know. Okay. Now, there is crime in Akron. I can't even keep track of all the people that got shot in the last 2 days. I don't even know. Kids being shot, grandma's being shot, everybody's being shot in this town. I can't even keep track. We got problems. Okay? I'm not talking about the good homeless. The good homeless. Like the good blacks, like the good police. See, how do you decide? How are you going to decide who is good and who is bad until we adjust the system? Okay? The good homeless and the bad homeless. There is crime in Akron. Interesting. Maybe Goodyear Heights. Yeah, it could be. Okay, Goodyear Heights. Okay, and they trash the area as well. Okay, good. Keep it coming. I'm not mad at what you're saying. Quite honestly, I'm very thankful because I want to talk about this. Okay, the homeless who are barreling drug problem. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now I like where you're going, Grider. Is it Grider? Battling. Thank you. Now you see. Very good. Battling a drug problem. Okay. Why the homeless? Could be your neighbor, says C. Okay, now. Let's break this down. So Grider, is that how you say it? I'm just trying to help people. Okay. I dig it. And may I say, my goal today was to talk about our personal truth. Grider. Oh, good. Okay, good. All right, Grider. It's nice to see you here. I'm glad you're here, and thank you for the conversation because I think it's very important. So, Grider is saying people are breaking into houses and stealing stuff. And absolutely, Grider's true. That's true. I'm sure it's true. I do not doubt that in the least. Okay. All right, Grider. We're going to solve this for you. Aaron says, how do you know it's homeless doing the robbing? Did you stop and ask them? Okay, so Aaron and James Nolan are leading the conversation to the next step. So, now, could they be homeless? 100% they could be homeless. But are they stealing because they are homeless? Grider said, I'm guessing it's okay, there we go. So we are uncovering things here. So now Grider is saying, and I'm glad, I'm so thankful. I'm not in any way bashing Grider. This is an important conversation. So right before Grider said, I'm guessing it's possibly the homeless. But before that, Grider said, these things look like weird earrings. I'm taking them out. Grider said that they are battling addiction. Okay? So what's interesting about this conversation was that it started from a place of frustration and anger. Tell the homeless to stop robbing our houses up in the heights. Okay? And so we get that visceral reaction. Okay? Because I'm thinking if we implement a better drug oh my gosh! I don't even need to be here, Grider. You're solving the okay, I work with homeless every day. They're humans, beautiful, flawed humans. Yes. And Emery, I would imagine, as I work with homeless every day, I think we have to admit that homeless people do steal. I'd say a very small percentage. I can't, and I'm going to just be as honest as I can totally be, I don't know offhand of homeless people that I work with directly that are breaking into homes where people live in that steal their stuff out of, I don't personally know, and if I did, I would tell you, because I'm going to tell you somebody else I know that does things. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, so I know that they will scrap wire, okay? For the most part, anyone who has nothing is going to be tempted to steal. Yes. There we go. Okay, we are unraveling some important issues here. Important issues. For the most part, homeless people are timid and afraid, okay? Because hopefully you can understand why. They don't have anything. They have been completely demoralized and dehumanized. They've lost their integrity, or their integrity's been stolen from them. But Mandy, they know who is doing it. I don't know. Just trying to... Yeah, Grider, you're doing great. You're doing great, Grider. You're doing wonderfully here. By and large, a homeless person is not going to walk up to someone they don't know and steal from them, beat them up. They're going to run away. Okay? They are afraid. Okay? Now, they'll fight each other. Sometimes. Very rarely. But they will. They'll fight amongst themselves. They get pissed off at me like you can't even believe. I have been punched by a homeless person. And I love her very much. I do. She's wonderful. But that's because I'm very close to them, okay? And they feel comfortable around me. Do you understand? Like, I feel quite honored that I am, I think, for most people, considered a friend. And some people have even said I'm part of the homeless family. And that is one of the greatest compliments I've gotten during this week. I totally understand the first part you're saying about them being right. Great. So, okay. So Emery says, and I don't know of anyone who does that either. Scrapping, taking possessions of bandos, taking things like the unclaimed. Yes. See, Emery's is having my experience as well. I leave my phone unattended throughout my shift. I leave my laptop sitting unattended in a room. I've never had an issue. Okay. I would not personally do that. They must like you more than they like me. Hell no, I wouldn't leave my laptop unattended. They've stole. Look, I one time got a laptop for the homeless and got one of those cool, like, I don't know if you've seen, but laptops have these little locks. And I got the lock, I got the chain. I came back. They somehow had ripped the whole thing out and taken the whole thing. Thank you for coverage of the. Oh, my, Alex, of course. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Super fun. I should have been a reporter. I love it. Getting up there, finding all the information. But I'm telling you, it's because we have a good relationship that happens. That's ironic, right? It's because the homeless love me that they steal from me. And it's very rare. I mean, look, very rare. I'm just trying to be as honest as I can that, people are stealing the stupidest things over here. Oh, okay, let's have a stupidest things stolen competition. I'll go first. Water. Oh, right, no, that's not stupid. That's a good one. Stealing water is actually very important. I can't even think. Maybe James will know some things. People steal stupid crap. But the drug dealers trade stupid crap. I literally want to have a business meeting with drug dealers to tell them to stop taking bullshit for drugs. You don't run a junk store, you run a drug business. Take money for drugs. Stop taking all this bull crap. Because then just what Grider says, people be stealing weird shit for drugs. I blame you, drug dealers, for taking that bull crap. Money. Take money. It would actually help things a lot if you would stop taking. I once went into a drug dealer's house that I was recovering a stolen computer from, that a homeless person stole from me. It was a Mac. What are those big Macs? MacBook, iMac. It was an iMac, and iMacs have those propane tanks, empty ones. Oh, that's a good one. You can't even scrap those. That's a good one, Grider. That's a good one. You can't even scrap them. And they're probably not even going to refill them. Yeah, that's a good one. So at any rate, this homeless person stole this iMac from me, but Mac products have GPS on them. And so a couple weeks later, out of nowhere, I get a notice on my phone, your iMac is turned on. And a pack of socks, a container of sugar, and a TV cord. A TV cord. That's a good one, Emery. That's a good... That's some funny stuff. A TV cord. Is even a drug dealer going to buy a TV cord? Probably. Oh my goodness. A TV cord. That's good stuff. So at any rate, I go over to the drug dealer's house with a police officer. And the person who has my iMac. And I walk in and it's three guys, African-American guys, totally stoned. The house, you can hardly breathe because it's just filled with pot. They're so chill, so calm. There's a big, tall white guy with a cowboy hat on and a cop in their house. And they are chill as can be. And this house is decked out. They had fine dining china for 12 set up on this massive dining room table. And it was all in the hood. We're actually having a huge of people saying smoke alarms. Oh my Lord, smoke alarms. I'm sorry for your loss. You just gotta laugh. It's just getting ridiculous. Yeah, what do they do with those? Who's buying smoke alarms? I'm telling you, it's the drug dealers. They buy this crap. There's a lot of problems in the world, and drug dealers buying the stupidest crap is one of them. Just telling you. It's hurting us all. Just accept money, drug dealers. Please, just take the money. It's a better business idea. I end up knowing homeless drug dealers because I actually feel bad for their users, and they just accept anything for drugs. I could write a book. Yes, I know, right? And so we do have to have this whole conversation, right? Could homeless drug addicts, if we're going to guess who is stealing from the Heights, which I am sure is happening. I am sure that the Grider is being truthful about that because crime is a big problem. I would say it's probably drug addicts that could be homeless. You see what I'm saying? So you typically don't need to steal for food because you can get food. You're not going to be able to fence enough stuff to pay your rent. You might steal to try and pay your phone bill, but typically it's not that big of a craving. You'll just let your phone die. More often than not, you're stealing so that you can have drugs. Okay? What about the guy getting stabbed to death in his home on Willow? Dude was homeless and had a drug problem. Do you know him as well? Okay. Right. Let me look that up. Okay. So, let's find that out. Akron, Willow, homeless, murder. Let's just type all those words in and see if Google can tell me what. Hold on. 2 days ago. Okay. Was it this one? A lot of people can't get food due to the lack of ID. Right, true that. If I'm being truthful, I've been doing my research. That's good. Okay, Wilmot. Okay, hold on. Let's do it. Wilmot. Let's just thank you for correcting that. Wilmot. Okay, here. Are we talking about the 68-year-old Akron man murdered in his home? Car stolen. Is this it? Let's see. Let me know if this is the one. May 22nd, 2020. A 68-year-old man was found murdered in his home on Thursday evening. So that was a couple weeks ago. Let me know. No, that's not the one. Okay, hold on. All right. Well, everybody's dying in frickin' Akron, being murdered, so it's hard to find which Wilmot murder we're talking about here. Okay. Oh. Okay, wait. Here's a man found guilty of killing a homeless man in the backyard of a drug house. Let's see this one. Summit County jury found a felon guilty of fatally shooting a homeless man in the backyard of a house used for drugs and prostitution. Okay, so this kind of comes back to my point that really is a 68-year-old man kills. Wait, okay. Oh, you're right on. Was it that one? Okay, well now I got to show you this guy. So this makes a little bit. I'm not dissing your point, and I'm going to come back to your point, but because I happened upon this death in Akron. Dimitri White, 39, will be sentenced December 16th, Summit County Police Court on aggravated murder and possessing a gun as a felon. The jury of 7 men deliberated about 6.5 hours. White on July 11th killed Anthony Thomas. I don't think I know Anthony Thomas, a 45-year-old homeless man in the backyard of a home on the 10,000 block of Cole Avenue. White became angry that Thomas was trying to charge $5 admission into the home. Okay. White frequented the home and eventually planned to kill Thomas. Okay, so we got, wait. Okay, I get confused. Okay, Thomas is the homeless guy. White is pissed for the door charge. White frequented the home and eventually planned to kill Thomas. White on July 11th walked into the backyard of the home wearing a black mask, gloves, and a red sweatsuit. He pulled out a silver handgun covered with a bread bag to collect the shell casings. Ooh, that's a good idea, Mr. White. But it didn't keep you from jail now, did it? As he fired the shots. White shot Thomas several times, including once in the neck and once in the side. White fled after the shooting. Several witnesses. The witnesses. You didn't put a bread bag on the witnesses, did you, Mr. White? Nope, you didn't. Nope, you forgot about that. White's attorney, Paul Grant, argued that the witnesses were not credible, since some were drug users. Oh, yes. We can't... If you're a drug user... Okay, it is. Okay, I'm going to go back to that one, Grider. Hold on. Credible. He also argued that White was with three others. It wasn't the guy with the silver gun and the bread bag that shot him. It was the three other guys. And you can't believe any witnesses that have ever used drugs. Okay, so... All right. Thomas was trying to earn some money going into the house. Was it an abandoned house? It's probably an abandoned house. It just says a backyard of a house used for drugs and prostitution. Okay, so in the business, we call that a trap house. I'm still all wars. Okay. All right, good. Well, all ears. I got you, Grider. I got you. I'm so glad you're here, buddy. This is making the show actually interesting. So we call that a trap house. Okay. It's a house where drugs and prostitution usually go. And then, so you can see here that the homeless guy thought he'd start a business where he, turned it into Cedar Point, where you had to get $5 to go into the trap house, and Mr. White wasn't having any of that shit. Okay? I don't think it's because Thomas was homeless. I don't know why they wanted to say that. I don't get a sense of homeless hate here. I just get a sense of, the other guy had it with free capitalism, free market capitalism. He was done with it and he took it into his own hands. A $5 admission. Oh, jeez. Yeah, man. Okay. Now, you see if I can, the common thread isn't homelessness or race. It's drugs. Okay? But now, before we get on to then we got to murder drug addicts, we need to talk about drugs, but in a more educated, sophisticated way. Okay, let's go back to, I think Grider was saying it was this house. So let's read this story. So this was, again, about a week, 2 weeks ago. Okay? Let's watch. Hold on. Let me tune in. I want to see what they got to say about this cat. Developing story. Let's hear it. All right. We all got to hear some commercials. Skip that ad,
all right,
baby.
Jason, we'll check in with you then. In the meantime, a 68-year-old man attacked and killed inside his own home.
The suspect facing a judge today. Tierra Braddock has the details on what led investigators to this man.
Akron police just made an arrest in the murder of 68-year-old Gary Bayless, who lived in this Akron neighborhood in the 800 block of Wilmot Street. Now, this is still an ongoing investigation, but here's what we know. This is 30-year-old Jason Shockley. Police arrested and
I don't think I know Jason.
charged him in the connection of the death of Gary Bayless. Bayless was found dead in his home last week with stab wounds to his neck and chest.
Whoa. Wait a second. That's Kent Court. Okay. That ain't Wilmot. That's Kent Court. That's where I live. I mean, that's where our business, that's where our stuff is. I mean, right around the corner. That's Kent Court. This is the church that shut down our tent village.
Detectives say they received information that led them to
Why the hell are they showing Kent Court? Unless that's Wilmot, but I'm telling you, it looks exactly like Kent Court.
Bayless's missing car, which was located in the 80 block of Kent Court.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we have a house on Kent Street, and Kent Court is it's a drug heaven. A lot of drug use goes on there. This sign just got knocked over, too. I don't know who got up there and knocked that sign off. That's good there. Yeah, Kent Court. I don't know what that has to do with Wilmot.
They then found Shockley in a vacant home in that same block.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Oh, yeah, he was over here on Kent Court. That's right. I can't keep up with all the murders.
That's where he was arrested.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Trying to imagine that. I can't quite.
The
picture which
30-year-old
house.
now faces a long list of charges, including aggravated murder, robbery, and breaking and entering. Shockley pled not guilty to the numerous charges stacked against him. His next court appearance is set for June 12th, and his bond is set at $1 million. Reporting in Akron, Tiara Braddock, 19 News.
Okay, so that's so interesting, Greider, because that's where they found the stolen car. Yeah. So, okay, this is cool, Greider. I know a little something about this. Another question: why are there a lot of homeless drug addicts that are out of town? Okay, I can get to that. Okay, we can talk. I love it. I love all your questions. Okay, this is where they found the car. Okay, so Kent Court is a known drug center. Okay, in fact, and I will say that I work, obviously, with drug addicts, and I work with drug dealers. Okay? It was a good friend's dad. I helped. Oh, my. Oh, wow. Okay. You know a lot about this man, too. Okay, good. All right. Well, maybe we can piece this story together, Greider. The drug dealers that I know, there's two kinds of drug dealers. I think, unless somebody else wants to speculate, but I have a theory, Sage's theory on drug dealers. Two kinds of drug dealers. Drug dealers that are trying to make money, and then that's one, and then drug dealers that are trying to fix a habit. Okay? They're selling drugs just so they can do drugs. Those are my drug dealers. Okay? The rich drug dealers, they don't hang out with me. You know why? Because my people don't have no money. I don't hang out with the rich drug dealers. I hang out with the drug dealers that are just trying to, hold up a habit. And they're terrible business people. Terrible business people. I spend a fair amount of time on Kent Court. When, like I said, we own a house on Kent Place. I have been in drug houses over there, and I know exactly where we're talking about. Okay? So, but I can tell you, I personally do not know Gary Ballas, but I feel like almost 100% I could find out about him. And maybe I will, because now I'm excited to learn more. On the drug dealer especially, I'd like to talk to you in person one day. Okay, I would be down with that. Now, that doesn't mean that these drug dealers are not ruthless assholes. Okay, you gotta go. Okay. This guy was probably living in a bando. I don't know him. He was probably, if you say he was homeless, he could have been homeless. I believe that. But his problem is drugs, okay? It's not homelessness, okay? The murder and crime is typically not caused because you're homeless. It is caused because of your drug addiction, okay? Okay, good, Greider. I'm so glad you're here. Now, that doesn't make me hate drug addicts. I oftentimes am very hateful of drug dealers because I have seen first experience of how much of an asshole drug dealers can be. They are assholes. But you know what? I still work with them. It's drugs, okay? Now, they can go hand in hand, but it's typically not because they're homeless that they're stealing. It's because they're addicted to drugs. And what my theory is, he was homeless and he had a drug problem. He probably killed the guy because he didn't give him the money. Yeah, that's what I would think, Grider. That he happened to be homeless, but the drugs were the closer connection. Okay? Now, I believe, obviously, look, we cannot have crime. I mean, we can't allow crime. We have to stop crime. We cannot condone crime. We cannot make crime acceptable. It undermines the fabric of the entire society. Okay? But that doesn't mean we have to hate the criminals. You don't have to hate Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay? I honest to God, I'm seriously thinking about starting a Jeffrey Dahmer gift store. My wife says it should be a museum. We don't have to hate Jeffrey Dahmer. We just have to understand Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay? Which oftentimes there's a thread between this guy, this Gary Ballas guy, and a guy like Jeffrey Dahmer. It comes back to mental illness, which you guys probably hear me a lot of talk about, but also the deterioration of jobs in America. Okay? Okay, back to Akron. Yeah. So I'm not surprised of any of this stuff. Look, these people never saw their dad go to work at Goodyear. Okay? All they saw their dad do was do drugs and go to jail. All they saw their mom do was do drugs, prostitute, and go to jail. Now, again, I'm stereotyping in a major way here, but my point is that we are seeing generational hopelessness. I can't see a way out. I can't see any future for me. My dad didn't have a future. My grandfather didn't have a future. My mom didn't have a future. And my grandmother didn't have a future. And I didn't know anybody else. And so you get into a state of hopelessness, which leads to, I think, mental illness and then drug addiction. The drug addiction is a cover-up for hopelessness and depression and anxiety and schizophrenia. Okay? We have a systemic nightmare on our hands. Mental health treatment is not going to solve it. It's going to help it. The war on drugs is definitely not going to help it. It's making it worse. Now, hold up. There's a lot of people up here on Goodyear Heights. We're proud people. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Grider. Yes. I'm assuming I'm stereotyping this guy. Okay? I don't know this guy, Gary Ballas, but if he was over there in the Kent Courthouse, look, I take food and water over there. I take food and water to the house that I'm sure he was at. Because they're starving and dehydrated. They're getting E. coli because they're drinking out of the river. Of course there are good people and proud people and hardworking people. I think it's one of the greatest parts of Akron. The fact that we can be kicked so many times and we just keep getting up, going to work. Okay? Yeah, I don't thank you for standing up and clarifying that I am not anti-Akron. I'm not anti-Akron people. I love Akron people. One of the reasons I love being here is because Akron people are so cool and so unstoppable. But what I'm saying is there are many people that I work with and that people like Emory work with that have had nothing but hopelessness and depression and anxiety and bipolar and schizophrenia. If I've heard the phrase black sheep once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Not only, so since the virus came, domestic violence. Interesting. You're a good man. I respect you, Grider, and I really thank you for these questions. We got to get back to the root cause, okay? Now, people will work if the work will pay the bills, okay? They will work. They will work at McDonald's. They will work at rallies. They will work in the hospitals if they can. But then you got these other problems that these people have all these convictions on their record. And if you have an opportunity to hire somebody that is a felon or somebody that's not a felon and everything else is the same, who are you going to pick? Who are you going to pick? You're not going to pick the felon. And so then they get stuck. And then we get in this downward spiral of hopelessness and depression and anxiety and then crime and drugs and the whole deal. I have a family of 3 generations living in my hotel right now. Wow. And yes, addiction has so many causes. Access to mental health care is a big issue. Access to resources. Trauma is such a hot, important topic. We have to talk about trauma. I would like you all to understand trauma and the trauma in your own lives. You don't have to go to war to have PTSD, okay? You can just live on Kent Court in Akron, Ohio, or Wilmot, okay? Trauma-informed care is the fancy phrase that I like. Understanding people's trauma to take care, Grider. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for your concern. And thank you, man, for asking these important questions. Because the more we can learn, the more we can understand, the more we can move forward. Thank you, Grider. Which is really the point of all of this. Why are African Americans angry? If you can't answer that question on June 7th, 2020, you are either A, an idiot, or B, a racist. Or maybe an idiotic racist. I'm really sorry for you. Because you don't want to understand. That's the only answer. Got a lot we can talk about and learn. Let's not hate nobody. Right on, Grider. Right on. If you look, one of the things that's driving a lot of African Americans and now even me to blow a gasket is I don't understand. I can't understand. You're not listening. Okay, look, I'm not going to show you the most gory things on my Facebook. I don't need to. But if you're one of the people that says, I don't understand. Let me show you a couple videos so you can say, okay, I understand. You can still say, well, fuck them, I don't care. Most common cause of PTSD is car accident. Oh, I did not know that. Emery. Listen to this video.
Hi, I'm here for my surgery. Hi, Ryan, right? You're here to get your appendix removed? Yeah. Just so you know, when you're in the surgery today, one of the surgeons may decide to stab you to death. What? It's very unlikely, but, we've got a few bad apples. Well, then I don't want the fucking surgery. Calm down, sir. Not all surgeons are bad. You shouldn't be hiring any surgeons who purposefully stab people. Oh, so now it's our fault? Well, maybe people like you should stop being so stabbable.
Okay, so in case you're not good with symbolism and metaphor or whatever, what that video is saying is, and Chris Rock even did a skit on it about bad apple pilots. Okay? Yes, we need to unlearn. Yes, Grider. Yes. I know we need to, yes, We need to open our minds to new ideas. This is what being human is growing and evolving and becoming better, because I do believe this. Doesn't that video speak volumes? Hi, Aaron. It's nice to see you. We are incredible. Humans are incredible. We have no proof that there has ever been something like human beings in the universe. And even if there are, it doesn't make us any less incredible. We owe it to the universe or God or whoever you want to keep moving forward. Yes, we make huge mistakes. And if you're a Bible person, you know we do. It's called sinning. Yes, but God loves us anyways. Quit using pronouns to describe people. Okay, that one I don't understand, but I will try. I don't quite understand. Yes, okay, I'm sorry. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm probably talking about people incorrectly. I apologize. We owe it to God and the universe to keep unlearning and relearning. So what that little skit is saying is there are many professions where it is 100% absolutely unacceptable to have bad apples. Okay? Pleasure to see you, Aaron. And we don't accept bad apples in surgery. We don't accept bad apples in pilots. But we do seem to accept bad apples in the police and in the clergy. I don't want to really open up that can of apples. Those blacks stood right next to the white shoulder in wars. We built our nation, we, not me. Okay, Alec, yes. Of course it's we, dude. But right now, no, I'm so glad you're here. I love unlearning, because I gotta say, I have learned so much this week. I've been to 3 protests and it's been wonderful. And may I say this, I want to show you this picture. See this picture? I took this picture. I did. Me. It's about me now, Alec. Just as society. Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah. Just as humans. Yes, Greider. Thank you. This is the parade at Barack Obama's first inauguration. I got tickets to this parade on the train into the inauguration. I'm telling you, I was within 100 feet of the White House box where Barack Obama and Joe Biden sat for the parade. That parade is very boring and long and cold, by the way. But I was glad to be there. I was at both inaugurations of Barack Obama, and it was one of the most memorable things that I have ever done. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because the protests that I have been on here in Akron, Ohio, have been of equal import and excitement and wonderment as the Barack Obama first inauguration was for me. The feelings of camaraderie and connection and unity of what humanity is supposed to be is so evident in these protests. They are beautiful. You have all genders, all races, everyone together for a common cause. And what I wanted to just say, Alec, is, and you're a wonderful, wonderful human being, is that right now I'm focusing on the cause of African Americans because that's the issue we're talking about right now, and it's incredibly important. My main issue is homelessness. It's just what I'm about, and you know that, Alec. I mean, most people should know that. But I want to show you another video about why I am kind of not talking about homelessness this week, and I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. Where is it? Oh, this lady right here. Check this out. Okay.
Jewish people, Native American, all kinds of people are in the spectrum of all lives because all lives matter, right? Okay, great. But when you have one particular subset of lives that are consistently being murdered and beaten in the streets and discriminated against, then what you're gonna end up with actually is most lives. And if you're gonna continue to say all lives matter, all does not equal most. Okay, Karen? So what we're gonna need to do is we're going to need to help the lives that need helping so that all lives can fucking matter. You fucking dumb, or you
Okay? So I like that video because I think she does a great job of not only being hilarious, but of explaining why we need to just love on our African American brothers and sisters this right now. Okay? It's not that there aren't other huge problems. There's not that other people don't matter. It's that we have an opportunity to move this topic forward today. Okay? Because this conversation we're having is a huge opportunity. If you, like, people are not, like, look at this. Look at these. Look at this. This is in Manchester. Okay. Ow, that hurts my ear. That's not even a good video. Here, look at this. This is Philadelphia. Look at this. Huge. This is unity. Okay, look. On the first protest when we marched around the city in Akron, it felt like a parade, and I distinctly remember walking past this mom and her young daughter, African American, and she looked like to be 10, maybe 10, 12, I don't know. And she was smiling. She was so happy. She looked so happy. And I don't know why she was happy. Maybe she just had an ice cream. I don't know. But I think it was probably because she saw people of all ages, all genders, and all races, and people in cars honking and screaming in peace and love and unity, that she saw that people cared about people like her. And it was, I'm telling you, it was every bit as beautiful as this. Do you see how Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are smiling? First of all, those Secret Service guys did not want them out of that car. It was a lot of danger. Very dangerous. A miracle that Barack Obama didn't get killed during those 8 years. A miracle. That happiness that I see on Michelle Obama's face is the exact same happiness I saw on that little African American girl's face on the streets of Akron, Ohio. That look, it's all different people. You look around, there's African American, there's old people, there's young people. They all came together to celebrate a great moment of unity. And that's what I felt, and I was so overwhelmed by that young girl. And that's all it is. That's all this is. It is a moment to come together with people that have been felt like they've been hurt and betrayed by their society, and we are saying we are with you. We don't have to say we're against anybody else. That's not what they're asking. All they're asking is for us to say we are with you. Okay? So every time somebody comes out and says, well, all lives matter, you're hurting the people that this moment in time we're trying to say we love. We love you. We love you. Okay? Look. And what's beautiful is it's happening all over the world. Wait, is this the one I just showed? Okay, this is Manchester. Okay, hold on. Where's this? This is Brisbane. People all over the world are coming together with African Americans. It's about African Americans and saying, we love you. That's all that you need to say right now. Is African Americans, we love you. And we are so sorry. We are so sorry that you have had to experience what you have had to experience. And I'm sorry that it is my ancestors that were at the hands of that. I am so sorry. And I can't take it back. And I can't right the wrongs of history. But I can be here with you today. And I love you. And I will do everything in my power to try and make the future of America a better place for your kids. That's all that needs to be said right now. That's it. That's all they want. All right. Look, I don't cry, son. I was getting a little teary there, so we can't have that. I love you. You're wonderful. God bless you if you believe in God. May the universe bless you. May Allah bless you. May Johnny Appleseed bless you. Whoever may we all find love and peace and camaraderie and unity. Because I'm telling you, that's what God wants. He wants us to love one another. That's the big test. Will we be able to love one another? Because really, I sort of think eventually God's going to be like, never mind, and he's going to throw all the pieces of chess off of the board, just like he's done several times with comets and volcanoes. I don't know if that's the way it works, but sometimes it feels that way. If we come together, we don't need to worry about a comet and volcano because we will move to other planets. But we can only move to other planets together. Thanks, Grider. I've got to go too, Grider. All right, everybody. I love you. I love you. I love you. And you have a great day. All right. Goodbye. If I can find out how to end this. Oh, yeah. Goodbye.